represented by two separate yet equally important groups. The police who investigate crime, and the district attorneys who prosecute the offenders. This is the story of Donald Trump. His entire life, Trump has believed he's above the law, that no one would ever dare hold him accountable. He lies, he rips off workers, he sexually abuses women.
Hey, when you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything.
He cheats in business. He cheated on his wife with a porn star and paid her off so the American people wouldn't find out during an election. But in the criminal justice system, ordinary Americans have had the courage to find him accountable, time and time again.
Guilty. Donald Trump guilty on all 34 felony counts.
For the first time in history, we have a convicted felon running for president. And to take on this case, we need a president who has spent her life prosecuting perpetrators like Donald Trump.
Should have never happened.
That nightmare happened here at this nearly empty greenhouse in eastern Kentucky. App Harvest, a failed high-tech startup, promised local workers a future, but spiraled into broken promises. Anthony Morgan bought into the company's public pitch that it was for Appalachia by Appalachians.
We was being told that, hey guys, he's from here.
Thank you. Wow.
He is J.D. Vance, the Republican nominee for vice president.
I will be a vice president who never forgets where he came from.
Leaning on his personal rise out of poverty to reach swing state voters as Donald Trump's running mate.
I chose him because he's for the worker. He's for the people that work so hard and perhaps weren't treated like they should have been.
But before politics, Vance was a venture capitalist and App Harvest's first outside investor, eventually steering millions of dollars to the company. Vance was a lead pitchman for the vertical farming startup, tweeting he was a supporter and investor, writing, "I love this company."
It's a great business that's making a big difference in the world.
The company's investor presentation pledged a commitment to Appalachia, estimating thousands of new jobs to a poverty-stricken area.
A major emphasis with them was, we want to bring work to eastern Kentucky. This is why we are here.
Morgan left a stable job to join App Harvest as a crop care specialist, pruning the greenhouse-grown vegetables. A single father with 6-year-old twins, the job rapidly turned when production fell behind under what a dozen workers described to CNN as mismanagement, including dangerous conditions. Employees filed multiple complaints to the state and federal government alleging heat exhaustion, working in extreme temperatures, and lack of water breaks, though the cases were all closed with no citations.
I think about the hottest that I experienced was around 128 degrees.
Inside.
A couple days a week, you'd have ambulance show up, and you've seen people leaving on gurneys to go to the hospital.
The cuts came next to promised worker benefits, and then foreign workers came in to fill those so-called local jobs.
The second round of folks they brought in was folks on work visas. And they didn't bring just a van full. They brought busloads.
Documents show App Harvest hired contract workers from outside the region. At one point, as many as 500, the majority of its workforce, not locals. But that's not the image App Harvest wanted the world to see. This is Kentucky Senator Mitch McConnell visiting in 2021.
Mitch McConnell coming through. Were the migrant workers there at the time? You're laughing. I mean, I look at the video. It doesn't look like there's any...
They hid these guys. They took them out of the plant. They was gone. And then Mitch McConnell's giving a speech about all this work that App Harvest has brought eastern Kentuckians.
I like the idea of taking the tomato market away from the Mexicans. How about that?
So they were trying to hide the migrant workers.
Specifically, yeah.
This worker, who asked not to be identified, says the hiring of migrant workers became part of a mirage that App Harvest was helping the region. He took this video as his co-workers clapped for visiting investors.
And anytime they did that, they kept workers off the floor doing our stationary parade while people come through. And yeah, it was awkward having to stand there and just be a prop.
A prop for what?
You know, look at all of these poor folks we're employing.
The worker says it's impossible to forget about his time at App Harvest as J.D. Vance ascends to national politics.
He's gotten away with a lot of money and fame for pretending to be one of us.
OHIO.
He's just another grifter, just another carpetbagger, another tourist who wants to tell us what we are.
Vance left the board in April 2021 to run for the Senate. Shortly after, shareholders filed suit claiming they were misled. By 2023, App Harvest had filed for bankruptcy a little more than 2 years after its public launch. But the workers in this failed startup say they are the real people in the Vance story.
Do you blame J.D. Vance for any of this?
I blame all of the original investors at App Harvest. The original board of directors know what was coming.